Trent Thompson and John Atkins in the middle?
I mean, the standard is the standard. So, I mean, you always got to have a central urgency. If you're not playing on your heels, on your toes, or worried about the difference that the coach's depth chart can make, you got to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
John, what's the biggest lesson you learned playing with him?
Playing with who?
John Atkins, biggest lesson.
If you play nose, you got to be the biggest beast on the field, and you got to play with the aggression and anger that nobody else on the D line is playing with. So that's just what he taught me. You got to hold it down.
Does that fit your personality?
Yeah, I can.
Even though John Atkins is gone, is that trade? Is that in the locker room still?
What you mean?
I'm talking about like the chain that y'all talked about last season that goes around your neck after a game. So do y'all still have that?
Of course, because we have no weak links. You got to keep the chain. No weak links.
Have you noticed a difference in the offensive line through your 3 years here now, seeing them get bigger and stronger?
I mean, I think they're the best, you know. I mean, but they work really hard, and I feel like their consistent level is so good. I mean, they work us every single day. We pound on them like they pound on us, and iron sharpens iron. So I feel like the sky's the limit.
DeAndre Walker, he's a guy that he's kind of had several different roles since being here. Now he's kind of the guy at outside linebacker. He's most experienced in that group. He's going to have a heavier workload probably. What do you know about him as a player, and kind of having seen him come through the ranks the last couple 2-3 years?
He's amazing. One of those. I guess the word freaks. Run fast, hit hard, set the edge, do everything the coach asked him to do. So he's just one of those freaks.
I wanted to ask you in terms of being a D lineman. I mean, it's kind of a position where there's a bunch of in and out, a bunch of rotation. Like if you're starting a game, you're not gonna play every snap. So how is that kind of difficult for you to stay in a rhythm throughout a game, and how do you guys kind of work on that to where you don't get like angry or frustrated if you're taking out a game?
I mean, you never get angry and frustrated because I'm in a D-line room with every single D-lineman can play all four positions every snap through the game. So we go through it like how we're supposed to. We try to stay in the best shape we can, and we let Coach Scott do it.
And then, I mean, like, how many snaps personally are you able to take or so before you're able to suck?
As many as my body will let me, I mean, however many I'm supposed to play that game, however many is meant for me to be, that's what it's going to be.
What's the most snaps you've played in a game?
I think maybe no more than 40. I don't think I'll ever crack more than 40.
Think that'll change this year?
I hope so. We'll see.
Julian,
keep working.
What comes to mind when you think about the way you've transformed yourself physically from day one you got here to where you're standing here right now?
I mean, I had to do it if I wanted to be a part of this system. Coach Mark has made it the way that he wants us to be. He wants us 295, 300. He wants us running fast. He wants us in shape. He wants us in the best possible shape we can possibly be in. So that's what we want to do for him.
Before now, when's the last time you were down to 300 pounds?
Is that what?
I mean, before now, when was the last time you were down to 300 pounds? In the high school, you were a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
Back then too. So how long has it been since you've been, I guess, that quote unquote small?
I've been like that consistently about a year though. You know what I'm saying? It's been just right in there between 305 and 295 for the past year and a half. So.
How much easier does that make it for you to play to be able to have that less weight on?
A lot better, I can move faster laterally and just run longer.
What do you weigh now?
I'm about today I was like 295, 296.
What's the key for you being effective this year in a larger role? What in particular have you been working on this offseason?
Consistency, claiming my consistency. If I can't be consistent, it's hard to be good on this defense. So I just got to claim my consistency up front in the middle.
Is that a daily thing that Coach Scott drives on you every day? Is that some words you hear from him every single day?
Consistency. You got to claim it. You know what I mean?
Tyler Clark played really well in the last few games last season. What was it, I guess, that he did that helped him to kind of flip the switch and play well?
He get hot. That's how he always been. Tyler turned it on, man. He always been like that. He'll just take over an entire game with his athleticism and physical nature. So,
What are your initial thoughts of Jordan Davis since he's gotten campus?
Jordan is a big, massive man. He reminded me of me when I was younger. That tallarness. So he's really getting more physical every single day. I like the way he's working. One of the young dudes, he likes to listen. He doesn't like, you know what I mean? He likes to really listen and take the coaching that we're trying to tell him because we know it's hard out there for him, and we got his back, and he knows it.
You try to take him under your wing a little bit, being like you said, he reminds me of yourself.
Yeah, I got him a dog.
What's the biggest advice you've given to him?
I mean, as a bigger, taller man, it's always harder at first to learn how to run this long and just, push through the things that, but he's really stepped his game. I'm so proud of him, how he's been working, so he just got to keep working.
And after you go lost both John Atkins and Trent Thompson on that line. I guess there's a bigger there's more of a lack of experience and depth. I mean, how do y'all compensate for that?
Weak links. I mean, we want to think we're lacking experience. There's no weak links because it's a part of this change. You just got to be on it. You know what I mean?
How would you describe the mood in the locker room going into this preseason?
The mood is really just staying focused. Like, we just want to be the best team that we can be versus each other. Because, like, orange sharpened line, we're not really worried about what's going on the outside right now. We really just been, the whole program is on a grind mode, and I love it. So we're not trying to stop.
Is it different than last year? Are there some differences? I mean, obviously you guys did play for a national championship. Does that change things? Does it sharpen the focus? Are there more distractions to look out for?
No, because Coach Martin does a really good job with having us stay on the same path. He never lets up. So with having a coach like him, not letting you let up, it's hard to even think anything differently because you know the way, especially if you was here last year. So we try to bring these freshmen onto the wing that we just have to focus on all the hard work we have.
What's it mean when you get picked to do media? How do you find out, and are guys like, do they go, wow, that's great, or is it like, oh man, I got to go out there?
I'm doing what my coach asked me to do.
So Coach was talking about, this culture of competition and how this is the culture of this program, the standard of this program. What does that look like on a day-to-day practice and games? What does that look like for you guys?
I mean, we take every practice like it is a game. That's how it starts off with the competition. We go against the offense as if they were any other offense in the country. We have to go at them as much as they're going to go at us because we never can let up on each other. Like I said, iron sharpens iron. So we sharpen them like they sharpen us. So it's really good for us.
Going back to Tyler Clark for a second, do you guys feel that he's ready this year to kind of be that guy on a more, game-to-game basis, whether you have a good game here or a good game there? Is he ready to be consistent, I guess?
Tyler's going to claim his consistency, I believe so.
What does he have to do, in practice to have that consistency and not just, not get hot in a game, but get hot, in every game?
He's just going to claim his consistency, strike, do what he's supposed to, do what we're always supposed to.
Is that something you can do in practice, or is it just something that kind of comes with everything during the games, before games?
It started at practice, like Coach Smart said. We hit all through the week. We hit on each other. We bang on each other, and that's just the mindset that we always have. So when we get into the game, it's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Who's working at nose guard with you? And
Daquan Hawkins and Jordan Davis.
Earlier in the spring, you talked a little bit about at your position, you got to be able to play at 1, 2 different spots, and you see guys like Jonathan Ledbetter out there working with the outside linebackers. Is that something you're seeing more and more apparent as you guys are getting closer to putting pads on, getting into the heat of practice, that kind of thing?
Got to duplicate depth. It's great to have some defensive ends that can go out there and play jack because it just helps us all over the place. It helps them help outside linebackers set the edge. It just helps us on the inside, and it makes them run faster. They've been running a lot faster between Led and Malik when they go out there to jack back, and when they come back in the DN, they're just moving real good.
I want to ask you a little bit more about this when I'm talking about this whole rotational line. Can you kind of take me there, like during a game? So, like, what is it like when you go and play after play, and you're tired, or they need to rotate you? Like, hey, Coach Scott, I need to come out. How does that work?
I don't really know because the way we grind, Coach Sinclair doesn't let us get tired. I don't really think about tiredness as a game. I play my role like Coach Scott wants me to. If it's time for me to take a rest, he's going to let me take a rest. I really just want to be the best I can do it. If I can play every play, that's what I want to try to do.
So do you feel like that they kind of make it to where it's up to them whether you're out or not? It's not a situation where hey, I'm tired.
Yeah, Coach Scott will make sure you take care of us.
And then last thing I have to
go ahead.
What type of things do they do throughout the week to make sure you guys are to that point where you're in shape?
I mean, that's Coach Smart puts that on us, and as a D-line, we take really pride in making sure we're good on Saturday. We hydrate through the week. If we need extra running, we'll get it with Coach Sinclair. So the whole coaching staff just loves us so much to make sure that we are the best we can be on Saturday.
What does it mean to get? Thank you. What does it mean to get Nate Trust back out there in the field? To have him in the flow, they're playing inside linebacker.
I mean, Nate been with me since my freshman year. He's a leader. I've always been a leader, very vocal, knows this defense in and out. And it's always just a blessing for him to see that six behind him. He behind.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.